Well, Deputy President Cyril Ramaphosa has kicked off his two-day SADC mediation in Lesotho by meeting with the main opposition Democratic Congress. Ramaphosa arrived in Lesotho's capital of Maseru today for talks to restore stability in the Mountain Kingdom. He's on an official SADC assignment following last week's meeting with various political parties. Well, the latest round of talks will open a way for the reopening of Parliament. This will also include discussions on bringing forward elections to end the troubled coalition government led by Tom Thabane. Well, the country has been in turmoil since an attempted coup caused by leaders to flee to South Africa. So far, only one casualty was reported due to that standoff. Well, for more, we're now joined on the line by our reporter, that's Ntakwana Nkatane. Good afternoon, Ntakwana, and thank you for your time on the PM News Desk.
Good afternoon, Kashmir.
Well, it is the Deputy President trying very hard here to resuscitate that peace deal. What progress so far, Ntakwana?
Well, meetings after meetings, Kirshni, he has so far met with the opposition Democratic Congress. He's also met the general members of parliament. We saw them coming here to the hotel where he is based. And he's now, as we speak, meeting the College of Chiefs. Those are the principal chiefs who are also members of the Senate, which is the upper house that rules Lesotho and the other part of Parliament. And from what we've gathered, we've spoken to the Council of Churches, which is also scheduled to meet Deputy President Ramaphosa later on today. And we've also spoken to civil society, the Transformation Resource Center, which is quite instrumental in civil society activity here in Lesotho, and both saying that that peace is needed in Lesotho and that they hope that the process will achieve what is intended, which is to bring Lesotho back to stability. But more specifically, the Transformation Resource Center saying it is concerned that the focus on elections might lose sight of the more important fact of reforming the constitution of Lesotho to enable coalition governments to survive in the country, Kirshni.
Ntawana, what is public sentiment right now on the streets of Maseru regarding an earlier than scheduled poll?
Well, mixed bag of reaction really, but generally people accepting and welcoming the news and saying that the government at the present time, the coalition government that exists at the moment, is facing a lot of trouble, and therefore going back to get a fresh mandate from the electorate is a good thing. But of course other people saying the country is poor, it faces other economic problems, and therefore maybe funds should be directed to other things as opposed to elections. And others saying maybe we have to look at the reforming the constitution, as the Transformation Resource Center says. Instead of going into elections, maybe we should look at transforming the constitution or reforming the constitution to enable coalition governments to survive in Lesotho. Currently, the Prime Minister or the constitution gives the Prime Minister absolute power to make the changes that he's currently making, and he, from his side, is justified to be making the decisions as a Prime Minister. But other parties saying, well, maybe that needs to change in looking at the fact that Lesotho is probably bound to have more coalition governments going forward and is more unlikely to have one party ruling the country moving forward in the future, Kashmir.
Ntakwana, Prime Minister Tom Thabane has been pushing for SADC military intervention, but this is not likely to happen anytime soon, is it? SADC is more likely to look for a long-term, lasting political solution, yeah?
That's correct. Prime Minister Tom Thabane has been saying that the security situation in Lesotho is not conducive to the opening of Parliament. He has specifically looked at events like last Friday's attack on the house of the Commissioner of Police by people purported to be members of the army. This is a report that we received from the police saying that people traveling in army vehicles went into a gunfight with policemen guarding the Commissioner's house. But of course, that now coming out with other people saying, well, these are the sort of things that they feel, the opposition saying that they feel issues like this can be resolved through democratic processes where the democratic, or rather the democratic processes will decide who's Prime Minister and who should stay in power, as opposed to right now where the Prime Minister is making decisions outside Parliament and saying that he can't go into Parliament because the security situation in the country is not conducive, Kashmir.
Thank you. The SABC's Ntakwana Nkatane, our reporter, following that developing story in Lesotho.